So you guys have been asking me to do videos about VISAS in Belgium, right? So, and I'm telling you guys that, just have some patience because Crispin, I still have to do my underground checks and see what is happening, you understand? So guess what? Finally, I got some information and today, this video is about VISAS in Belgium. Are you ready? Because I'm ready for you. In fact, I'm always ever ready for you guys. So don't go anywhere. Crispin got you covered. Of course, I'll be right back. Yo, Crispinators, how you guys doing? It's your boy here, Crispin, repping here live. Of course, if you're new to my channel, this is Crispin 360, where I talk about recipes, fashion, traveling and everything, experiences in life, and podcast, of course. So, in case you're new to my channel, please, what are you waiting for? Just click on the subscribe button down below, okay? Of course, let's get interactive right now. All right, guys, in case you just tuned in, this is Crispin, of course, and I said we're going to talk about VISAS today. So, are you ready? Of course, let's jump right into it. So guys, you know how I said I've been living in Belgium for 4 years now, almost 5 years, So I'm going to try to give you the types of visas in Belgium. Now, everybody wants to come to Belgium, students, families, refugees, and everybody wants to come to Belgium, right? And what can I say about the visas in Belgium? Every visa has a category, okay? But in Belgium, okay, they actually have so many types of visas, but I'm going to emphasize or focus on the most important two visas in Belgium, okay? So in Belgium, we have the short stay visas and then we have the long stay visas. The long stay visas are usually like the D visa. It's called the D, like D visa. And of course, the short stays are the C visa. Okay, so I'll start with the with the short stay visas before I move into the long stay visas. Okay, so it's just like an ordinary visa that you're applying for. If you want to go to a foreign country, you should have a reason. You should have a potential reason, or I could say a prospective reason. You just can't wake up one day and just want to go to any country just for, regardless, even if it's a visa on arrival or you have to pre-apply for your visa, you should always know your left and right, the reason why you're going to the country. So when you're filling the form or the application for the visas, you don't make some petty mistakes. And a lot of people get their visas refused, not because they just don't have the right documents, but because they left or they added unnecessary information or they left out important information. So it's either you had too much or you had less. That's what the visas is. And the refusal of visas is not based on one reason. I know you can actually compare 2 or 3 people's visas and you can see that they almost give the same reasons. It's like the embassies have like a template. I always say this: embassies have like a template, and it's like it's always the same reason, with a lot of people, So yeah, so let's just, in order for you not to make these little mistakes, Crispin is here to guide you guys. All right. So like I said, there are 2 types of visas in Belgium. We have the long stay and the short stay. So let's start with the short stay. Okay. Now, Belgium is part of the Western Europe, and also the good thing is that it's part of the Schengen countries. When I say Schengen countries, it is a number of countries that have come together to have a free access to each other's country. So you don't have to apply for a separate visa. With just one single visa, you can actually visit 29 countries in Europe. That's what they call it, the Schengen zone or the Schengen belt. With this kind of countries, you can have like Belgium is part of the Schengen countries. I might not remember all the countries, but there are 29 countries, okay? So we have the Belgium, the Netherlands, the Germany, the Switzerland. It's actually part of the Schengen, but I think Switzerland and then Leicester and then Luxembourg and then Ireland, they are in Europe, but they're not part of the Schengen country, so it's a little bit complicated over there. So I really don't want to go much into that side, but I will just emphasize on the common and known countries that we know. So let's just assume that you want to come to Belgium, okay? If you just want to come here for a visit, a sightseeing, family and friends visiting, you understand? So obviously you go for the short stay visas. The short stay visas is up to 90 days. You are given up to 90 days. And I think a lot of people make a mistake, The visa, I think people are always assume that when they give you a 90 days visa, it means that you can travel in 90 days. No, that's not how it means. It means that, in 188 days is the general, is the total rule of the visa. But you are only allowed to stay the amount given or stipulated in your visas. So let's just say in general, okay, they give you 15 days out of the 90 days. You really have to stay only 15 days. And you really have to go back. You understand? That's how it works. But people, I think people get it all confused that, okay, I have a Schengen visa for 3 months. It means it's travel for 3 months. No, that is not how it is. No, 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 no. So always check this out. Okay. Now, this is just by the way. Let's just rewind a little bit backwards, okay? So like I said earlier on, when you're applying for the visa, for a short stay visa, please make your documents very straightforward. Now these days it's actually better, because back in the days you really have to just go to the embassy and they just put in any documents that you think that they will need. You understand? But these days you just have to go to VFS Global. Now VFS Global is an agent for most of the European countries, okay? So these days, like for example, in one embassy can have like 3 Schengen countries in one embassy. You understand? So the VFS Global is there to assess or to assist us in any documents that we need. So you are only obliged to provide what the VFS website or checklist is. Why am I saying this? For example, you want to come to Schengen country, okay, like Germany or Belgium, whatever, you know. And the documents that they give is like, we need your passport, not less than 6 months old, you know. We need your bank statement, proof of employment, what you are coming to do in Belgium. I mean, your like the purpose you're coming to Belgium and all that. Very, very important. So make sure you have all the checklists, you know, before you start application. You make sure that normally these days you can even go on the site and just have like a wizard quiz, you know. Like when I say a wizard quiz, it's just like an eligibility, you know. Just have to type in, I'm going to Belgium for 3 months, less than 3 months. They give you the checklist, so you already know what you need, you understand, before you even start the application. So always look into this. Very, very important. Like I said, a visa can be granted to you based on the documents you provided, okay? And so please be very careful, because they have embassies and consulates and all. They are very, very vigilant and very, very attentive when it comes to details. And please be trustworthy and be very, very truthful in your applications. Do not lie, or do not fabricate, or do not exaggerate it. You understand? Just provide what you have. It is the will of God you get a visa. It's very straightforward. Okay, so yeah, so normally they give the short stay visas, as in the C visa, for temporary stays, like up to 3 months. You know, it's just like 1 month to 3 months, or maybe 1 week to 3 months. It's very, very short. And normally these types of visas are given to tourists, like, you know, tourists, and then for holiday makers, or to visit friends and family, you know. Yeah, so yes. And of course, applying for this visa doesn't mean that most people, it's very debatable. A lot of people say that tourist visas are very difficult to get. Well, I think that if you have a good job, you have properties or something, you know, something you always have to prove to a company. Now remember, with VFS, you do not need to see the the ambassador or the consulates, you know, like, you know, very, very like one-to-one, you know. Your documents is going to do the talking for you. So you have to be very attentive, because you are not there. All you have to do is just go there, produce or submit your documents, and go home. You know, the documents has to do the talking for you. So if you really want them to go through your documents and have no problem with you, make sure that you are providing, or you are submitting the right documents. Very, very important, guys. So like I said, if you want to come for a short stay, of course, tourist visa is the best one to go for. It's the easiest route, you understand. Now let's jump into the long stay visas. Okay, so the long stay visa is called the D visa. It's also like a Schengen visa, but when you have the D visas, it's like a long stay. Like you are planning to come and stay here, obviously, you understand? Like it's like that, you understand? So which people are granted this type of visas? Now, a spouse of an EU citizen, if you are married in Belgium or you're married in Europe, you can take the E visa, I mean like the D visa. If you want to like come here to study, or a researcher, or a conference, or a religion program, or something like that, you know, then it's meant for long stay visas. Of course, if you're coming here for a week or 2 weeks, I wouldn't advise you to go for that route. You actually go for the, you know, like the C visas. So these are the 2 types of visas that are known or are very popular when you want to come, when you want to move, or when you want to move to a European country. Okay, so this is what I just said about these 2 things. So you as a person looking at me right now, you have to sit down and analyze what you want to do. Are you coming here to visit, or you're coming here to stay? So it's 2 things. This gives you the long stay, this gives you the short stay. So these are the 2 visas. So now that you know the types of visas, now there are some people also who actually apply for a short stay visa, and when they come here, after the visa expires, they tend to stay. Now that's called illegal. You have overstayed your visas. Okay, so please, guys, please do not make this mistake of overstaying your visas. It's very, 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 very risky and very, very dangerous. They can actually punish you or penalize you from like they can ban you for like 10 years not to return to the country. So do your homework very well. Okay, do not overstay your visas. And also, very, very important, now once you enter into the country and you really want to stay longer than what you were given, okay, there are ways you can actually apply to stay longer. Why am I saying this? Maybe you came to Belgium and then your circumstances has changed, you understand, in terms of marriage, childbirth, or schooling or something, and you want to stay longer. There is always a way that you can also get your visa to extend. And one of the most common ways is to apply for like an international protection, or what we call a refugee or an asylum. When you apply for asylum in Belgium or in Europe, it's easy for you to stay longer, okay? But of course, it just don't give you asylum just like that. You know, you really have to have a good story. You should have a threat in your home country, or you should have a reason, a tangible reason that the European government will just protect you or help you to stay in Belgium. So also look into that. So we have the short stay, the long stay, and then the refugee status in Belgium. So research into these things and then know what is very, very good for you or what is suitable for you. Don't just go for just any visas, because some visas you can't renew it. Okay, good. Now that we know that we have the short stay visa, the long stay visa, or to apply for an asylum or refugee in Belgium, okay, let's move on to the work visas. Now, you know, in most countries, okay, you always have to apply for your residence visa separately, the work visa separately. But the good thing is that in Europe, or I could just say in Belgium, most of the visas are like it's more like a package. It's like it's like a combi. You understand? You don't have to apply for separate visas. Once you are given like a family reunion, maybe you are in a foreign country, you want to come to Europe and you want to come and join your spouse or your child or something. Normally, when you come here, they give you the work visa automatically. But of course, you cannot work once you come to the country. After you get into the country, you have to stay or you have to register at the nearest city hall, or what we call the commune in Belgium, the first 7 days. Very, very important. You really have to register at the commune for them to get your details into the region or the town or the city where you are staying. Very, very important, because the police has to come and check where you stay so they can register you into the database of the community. So very, very important. Do not overstay this one. Also, very, very important. When you go into any new community, make sure you go to the nearest police station or city hall to register yourself as a newcomer in the community. It helps when you have any emergency, they can always assist you, okay? So yes, the work visas, like I said, you know, if most companies went normally, like that's one thing I love about Europe or in Belgium, you know, like in Europe or in Belgium, it's very easy, you know. Once you have the visa, automatically you can work. You understand? But unlike some countries, you have to apply it separately. That's the difference. So yeah, so the work visas, of course, if you are skilled, like you are a critical skilled labor. A critical skilled labor is that you are like you're a professional what's called a professional specialist that they really need, like doctors and nurses, you know, that kind of jobs, you know. Of course, if a critical skills visa, you can apply for this kind of work visas from your home country before you come to Belgium. Don't come here with a tourist visa and apply for that. It might work. It's my work, but it might take a long time. So please don't do this. You have to do this from your home country before you even come to the country. So a very good tip advice. So don't fault your visas or don't ruin applications. Have everything at hand, you know, have everything at hand. Don't just apply. Have everything ready. So when they ask for something, you just give it to somebody. I had the same issue when I was coming to Belgium. I remember when I was coming to Europe for the first time, I didn't know what to submit. Already, I've done some visas in the past, so I'm a little bit what's the word in English? I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to visas, because I've done visas a lot for a long time, so I know how these visas works. Okay, and like I said, it's a good thing because they just tell you what they need. You know, a lot of you guys tend out to add unnecessary pictures, unnecessary documents, unnecessary, you know, it makes your file like this, like a pile. You know, it's not necessary. Just provide what they're asking for. Simple as that. Okay, and trust me, if your documents are good and they are genuine, why not? They will not refuse you a visa. You understand? Now remember, I always say this: the counselor or the visas agents, they are always looking for a reason to refuse you a visa. So you have to do your homework very well. Don't give them a reason to refuse your visa. Of course. You understand? All right, guys. I just want to make this very short. Of course, if you have any questions about visas in Belgium, you can always holler at your boy. I'm here to help you guys with visas and all that. But of course, disclaimer, I am not a visa agent. You guys always confuse giving advice and being a visa agent. I'm not a visa agent. I don't provide visas or I don't issue visas. I'm only giving an experience from my own life and of course from my people or my colleagues or my friends. So it's just like a general advice, in fact a free consultation, you know. So please, if you have any questions about visas in Belgium or in Europe or in Schengen visas, please do not hesitate to send me a message. Or, you know, I always try to leave my Instagram or my Facebook, but I always forget. But if you go into my profile, you always see my Instagram and then my Facebook. You can always send me a message, and of course, Crispin, I'm going to respond to you guys because I'm here for you guys. Of course, in life you always have to travel to see. I mean, I believe in traveling. If you don't travel, you don't see. Explore the world. The world is a small place and you can always explore, you understand? So please, I would just like to end my vlog for today, and of course stay safe and be happy. Summer is here. Just chill, look nice, look pretty and all that. So I love you guys, and of course until the next episode of Crispin 360, I have to sign out and I say love you guys and have a nice day. Bye y'all.